you got zeros of a polynomial here, 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 and here. Okay? And you assume, you determine that the polynomial is negative on this interval, positive on this interval, positive on this interval, negative on this interval, and positive on this interval. We know how to do that. Okay? I hope we know how to do that. I certainly don't have time to go over the details. We've been over it in a lot of detail. Okay? And also, we know it goes up real fast here and down real fast here. Okay? So what's the graph look like? Well, we start from negative. And what we want to do is we want to come up here and then we want to come down through this zero, but what's wrong now?
Positive.
It's got to be positive here. Well, how are we going to make that happen?
Bounce it.
I'm sorry? Yeah.
No.
It means it's going to be like this. Okay, then it's got to turn around. And then it goes negative, and then it comes back positive, right? And how does this happen? Well, let's just say that this is at x equals 2. Okay, this 0, okay, so we conclude, and let's go ahead and put numbers in these. That's at 2, this is at, let's say, negative 5, so this is at maybe 4, and this is at 8. Okay? So the zeros are at negative 5, 2, 4, and 8. Then we know that x minus negative 5 has to be a factor, which is of course equal to x plus 5. Why? Because that's what we need in order to make it 0 at negative 5, right? At x equals 2, we have a factor x minus 2. But if we have a factor x minus 2, things are going to go through the axis, because x minus 2 is going to change sign at x equals 2. Well, this tells us that we have a power of 2. It's got to be an even power of 2 to keep the thing from changing sign here. And the minimum possible power of 2 is 2. A minimum possible multiple of 2 is 2. Okay? So we got to have at least an x minus 2 squared. To avoid a sign change at x equals 2, because we go from the left of 2 to the right of 2. This factor is going to go from negative to positive. We're just going to multiply whatever you get by the other factors by a negative on one side and a positive on the other, right? So it's going to have to change, the whole thing's going to have to change sign. And I'll say or could be x minus 2 to the 4th, or x minus 2 to the 6th, etc. Some even power that doesn't change the sign. That's an important idea that you'll find helpful if something about the multiplicity of zeros comes up. So, 0 at x equals 2 has multiplicity at least 2. That means x minus 2 appears twice. If you factor this thing, you're going to get an x minus 2, then you're going to probably get an x minus 2 from somewhere else, right? It could be any even power, at the minimum multiplicity, at the minimum, you gotta have it twice. Okay? So, and then x minus 4 and x minus 8 are your factors. So your polynomial is of the form a times x minus 8 times x minus 4 times x minus 2 squared times x plus 5. So if you know at least the value of the polynomial for one value of x, you plug it in and solve for a, right? And we've done a fair amount of that, so that should be familiar to you.